This is a match that I, for one, have been looking forward to quite somewhat. You have two of the best from two very separate parts of the country. You have Manchester's own Bubblegum against Cardiff's own Mark Andrews. Lightning Mark Andrews, the man who is the newly crowned winner of TNA British Boot Camp, gaining himself a TNA contract, and as a result his appearances here in the UK I'm sure will be limited, as he's about to jet off overseas to become a star in the States. Mark Andrews has sported aeroplanes on his tights for quite some time, signifying his aerial ability, and maybe it was somewhat of a prophecy or an intuition of Andrews, because he'll be getting on a plane very soon and leaving these shores for the United States of America. But before that happens, it's time for him to take on one of the best from Manchester, one of the best from the north of England, Bubblegum. Both of these guys, it's second, or actually Bubblegum's been on BWC Weekly twice before, matches against Robbie X in the Davey Boy Smith Cup, and also against Matt Myers. Talking of the Davey Boy Smith Cup, who can forget Mark Andrews' first appearance here on BWC Weekly, where he shocked the UK scene, making a singles match in the Davey Boy Smith Cup between Cardiff's own Gav Watkins and Wild Boar Mark Hitchman, making that a three-way dance and winning to kick off that cup. And now these two guys are going one-on-one here at Keighley for New Generation Wrestling, and what a match I'm sure this is going to be. Bubblegum showing his ruthless rule-breaking streak, going straight for the eyes and into a tight headlock, and looks like he's going there for the eyes again. And I'm going to make a prediction here, not as bold as Mark Andrews putting aeroplanes on his tights, but I will tell you that I'm imagining that this is going to be a fantastic contest. Two of the best flyweights in the UK kicking things off, and I'm sure this is going to be an incredible display of what British wrestling's all about right now. It's so interesting watching Bubblegum. I remember when this guy started off as a young, plucky, high-flying underdog, kind of like Mark Andrews is now, and somewhere along the way something went wrong for Bubblegum, and he took to being more cocky, more arrogant, and more rule-breaking. Mark Andrews is stuck to being a fan favourite, and look at the speed of the height of those arm drags. I'm sure even Ricky the Dragon Steamboat would be impressed with those. Third one there, and this match is sped up in a hurry. Bubblegum trying to cut that speed of Andrews down with a hard knee. Moonsault, standing style, just a 2 count there, and this match got fast in a hurry. Very few times will you see Bubblegum be the slower man in the match, but such is the ability of Lightning Mark Andrews. And I tell you, I don't want to sound like Jim Ross and say educated feet there, but that's exactly what they were. Bubblegum with a real hard, it was like a kick turned into a stomp between the shoulder blades, and another one in the side of the head takes Mark Andrews to the outside in a hurry. And if the first 90 seconds of this match are anything to go by, this one is going to be a barn burner. I can't believe I've just used the expression barn burner on a British wrestling show. You can tell I've been influenced by the overseas cousins in America. A lot of people have often asked, over the last decade, what's happening in British wrestling? And I always say the Americans really took a standard that we set with World of Sport and took it to another level, and it's taken the UK scene some time to learn some of the best tricks from the Americans, the razzmatazz, the high flying, the hard hitting, but now British wrestling is back with a vengeance, and this is its new generation, and you're seeing two of the very best from the flyweight stars in the United Kingdom. I tell you how good these two are. One of them has just won TNA British Boot Camp 2. As I said earlier, following in the footsteps of Spud, another resident flyweight on the UK scene, and Mark Andrews will be joining him shortly, and we're fortunate to have him here on BWC Weekly against Bubblegum, who turns Andrews upside down in the corner. What's he going to do here? Doesn't look good. And is he? Is his foot on? I don't even want to say where Bubblegum's foot is, but all I'm saying is the expression on Andrews' face is telling a story far more efficiently than my words ever can. And I think the referee really should have Really should have got involved in that quicker. And don't take the playful attitude of Bubblegum to mean that he is not a serious contender, because he is. The kicks, the hard shots that he's been giving Andrews so far, but Andrews firing back. Never count this guy out. I'm sure all of the other competitors in British Boot Camp did, and they were incorrect too, because he went on to win that competition on challenge. But he's got a challenge of a different kind in Bubblegum. Back and forth reversals here. Waistlock rolls through, double foot stomp hard on Bubblegum. Oh, and that's gonna, if that doesn't win you, nothing will. Man, we talked about educated feet earlier, but it was the educated feet of Mark Andrews, lightning Mark Andrews from Cardiff, that took out Manchester's Bubblegum. Changing the tide of this match, and it's almost like we're starting all over again. Big charge from Bubblegum. Mark Andrews moves in a swift kick to the midsection. Northern Lights rolls through. Huge kick to the side of the head. And what we're going to see here, Bubblegum goes for that standing. Oh! My Lord, twisted inside out at a 2. Oh, just a 2. My word. I don't even know what to call that. It's like a standing corkscrew, I guess. And that just goes to show the kind of caliber of high flyer Mark Andrews is. Reminds me of some of the greats that have come from the UK scene in the last decade, including Adrian Neville, as you may know him, in NXT and the WWE, wrestled over here as Pac. And a lot of people say that Mark Andrews is of the same ilk. Bubblegum using an opportunity that should be taken to rest, to give the audience some sign language there. And a huge kick by Andrews. Oh, and a rake of the back. 50 Shades of Bubblegum there as he drops down. Oh, hard. That could be all. And Andrews with a spirited kick out there. All it took was that rake to the back. And then that huge, it was almost like a Michinoku driver from the shoulders, but Mark Andrews kicked out. And I'm telling you, if you're just tuning in to British Wrestling for the first time, make sure you tell your friends what you're seeing, because the caliber of talent in the UK right now is second to none. It's not been this good since the glory days of ITV's World of Sport, and some may say it's getting even better than that. As Bubblegum from Manchester goes for the double underhook. Mark Andrews from Cardiff powers out. Big high backdrop. Andrews charges a Bubblegum, foot to the face. Wow, took his head off with that as he charges. Andrews flies by a second rope, Bubblegum up and over. Andrews, cartwheel, handspring, reverse, Hurricane Rana. That's got to be all. 1, 2, and 3. Mark Andrews wins here at New Generation Wrestling in Keighley. My word, what a match. Well, British Boot Camp 2 winner or not, Mark Andrews proving here today that the flyweight division is alive and well in British wrestling.